Hi guys, good morning everyone. You guys are able to see my screen, right?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah. So let's get started on it. Fine. Okay. So if we take our previous session, we are getting understanding that like what exactly mean by this RPA life cycle and what are the different kind of documents will be available while working with the RPA life cycle, and which we're understanding that how exactly we can get develop in a basic object here. Okay. So continuing with the same thing, let's get understand that how exactly we can develop a one more object here. Okay. So let's get understand that how we can perform those activities here. But before going to that, just have a let's a basic review about the previous session here. Right. So if we take our previous session, we have been taken about with the RPA life cycle. That is nothing but working with the different kind of the documents here, right? In that, the very first document is which it will be taking with the IPA document, which it will be mentioning the initial process analysis, right? So the very first document is which it will be taking with the IPA document, which it will be mentioning the initial process analysis. From this particular document, okay, from the IPA document, which I will be taking with the PDD, mentioning the process definition document, right? From the IPA document, I will be taking with the one more document that I will be mentioning that PDD, that is process definition document, right? And from the PDD, okay, so from the PDD, which it will be taking with the one more document that it will be taking with the FRQ. So from the TDD, which it will be taking with the one more document that it will be taking with the FRQ, which it will be mentioning the functional requirement questionnaire, right? So these three documents, which it will be considering as a very high level documents, like nothing but business users or business analysts, end user clients, these guys will be involving to get prepared these different kind of documents. Okay. Now, from these documents, which you will be getting with the some low level documents that you will be taking with the SDD, right? Mentioning that solution design document here. And from the SDD, it will be getting with the one more document that it will be taking with the TDD, mentioning that technical design document. Right? So which it will be taking with the one more document that it will be taking with the TDD, mentioning the technical design document. From the TDD, okay, so from the TDD, which you will be getting with the two more documents that you will be taking with the ODI and which it will be taking with the PDI. Okay, ODI mentioning that object design instructions, and then PDI mentioning that process design instructions, right? So ODI mentioning that object design instructions, and which it will be taking with the PDI mentioning that process design instructions here, right? If I'm taking with the ODI, which it has been used to develop an objects, and if I'm taking with the PDI, which it has been used to develop a process. Okay, ODI, which it has been used to develop an objects, and PDI, which it has been used to develop a process here. Right now, as a RPA developer, our main objective is we need to begin developing a object, or we need to begin developing a process. Right, so our role is, once we are getting in a job, first we need to begin to understand that what are the objects are available, I mean what are the ODA document is available, based on that particular ODI document. Okay, so based on that particular ODI document, we need to be get understand that how exactly we can develop that respective objects or respective process. Right? So now let's get understand on it how exactly we can develop an objects here. So first we will be developing with the objects, and after that we will be developing with the process here. Okay. Now let's get understand on it how exactly we can develop an objects and which it will be developing in a process here. Okay. So here, whenever you want to be develop any objects, first we required with the ODA document, right? In the ODA document, it will be clearly mentioning that. Okay. So in the ODA document, it will be clearly mentioning that what is the object need to be get developed. To develop that particular object, what are all the steps need to be followed here. Okay. Now, this is what the sample template will be having it, which we already mentioning it. Now, if we look into this, okay, so first, this is the one object we have been discussed. Continuing with the same thing. We are taking with the same object only, but we are taking with the help of the one more enhancement that we will be taking with the data items here. Okay, we'll understand that what exactly mean by the data item here. Okay, right. Now we can see here to get develop in a particular object. Okay, so to get develop in a particular object, we need to be take with the help of the stages here, right? So in a whole blue prism, if you want to be develop any object or if you want to be develop any process, we need to be take with the help of the stages. So now we need to be get understand that how exactly we can get to develop with the stages here. Okay, now let's get understand on it how exactly we can develop with the stages here. Okay, now if I'm taking with the stages, previously we are discussing about some of the stages here, right? So to develop in a particular object which it will be taken with the stages here, we have been discussed about some of the stages that we will be mentioning that it will be taking with the navigate stage, right? If I'm taking with the navigate stage, which it has been used to get open application and to close application and to perform click activity. Okay. To open application, to close application, to perform click activity, which we will be taking with the help of the navigate stage here. Right. And after that, which we have been discussed about with the one more stage that we will be taking with the right stage here. So if I'm taking with the right stage, which it has been used to enter data, okay, to enter data in text boxes, we have been taken with the help of the right stage here. Right? And after that, which we have been discussed about with the link stage to provide, okay, to provide connectivity, okay, to provide connectivity between stage to stage, okay, stage to stage. Now we are taking with the help of one more stage that we will be mentioning the data item. Okay, so what exactly mean by this data item? So what exactly mean by this data item is, if I'm taking with the data item, which we can mention that to store any data, okay, to store any data. To get store any data, it will be taking with the help of the data item here. Okay, so the purpose of the data item, or if I'm taking with the data item, we are mentioning that it is a one built-in stage. The functionality or purpose of the data item is to store any data. Okay, so if you want to be store any data, then you will be taking with the help of the data item here, right? Now let's get understand that how exactly you can utilize with the data item here. Okay, right. Now let's look into this. So for that, let's take an example of the scenario. So what exactly the scenario and how exactly we are taking with the data item is, if I'm taking with the data item, it is clearly mentioning that to store any data here. Okay. If you want to be store any data, then it will be taking with the help of the data item. So now, according to our scenario, we are taking with the login, that is username and password, right? So to get store username and password, we used to be take with the help of this data item. Okay. To store with the username and password, we are taking with the help of the data item. And whenever we have been required, we will be calling that particular data item. Okay, now we can see here. So now I'm typing with the username, right? Which I will be typing with the username and will be typing with the password, right? So for typing this username and password, okay. So for typing this username and password, which it will be taking with the help of the storing data items here. Okay, now we can see how exactly we can get implemented on it. So for that, the very first thing is we need to be create an object. To create an object, it will be taking with the help of the object studio. Okay, so we'll be taking with the help of the object studio. Now under object studio, you'll be getting two things, right? One is process studio and one is object studio. Okay, under object studio. Okay, so under object studio, you are having with the one particular folder we got created for our easy understanding purpose. Under that particular folder, which it will be getting creating with the object here. Okay, so under that particular folder, we are getting creating with the object, and which it will be taking with the object name. Okay, so we'll be taking with the object name. So object name, we can provide anything. For example, which I will be taking with the login logout underscore, which I will be taking with the data item. Now click on the next button. Description, if required, you can get provided. Otherwise, directly can click on the finish button. All right. Now, which I will be taking with the double click on it. Okay, which I will be taking with the double click on it. Now it will be getting opening with the object studio. Our Blue Prism main window is totally different, and this object studio is totally get different here. I can just take with the double click to take maximize. We already mentioned that by default we are getting three tabs here. We are not performing any activities on initialize tab, and we are not performing any activity on cleanup tab. Okay, initialize tab, cleanup tab, we are not performing anything. All the activities we are taking into the action tab only. Okay, so whatever the statements you have to be perform it, all the activities you will be performing here only. Now if required, it will be taken with the rename it, which it will be taken with the rename that will be taken with the data item. Okay, right. So now you can see here how exactly we can develop that particular flow by adding with the feature of the data item here. Now, if we look into this, if I'm taking with the stages, you are getting with the option is data item. So you can just click on this data item and then you can get drop it here. We require two data items, right? So which it will be taking with the two data items here. Okay, so we'll be taking with the two data items here. So which it will be taking with the two data items here. Now, if I'm taking with the double click on it, once you're done with the double click on it, which it will be asking with the name. Okay, once you're done with the double click, it is asking with the name. It can get provided any name here. For our easy understanding, nothing but we are taking with the username, right? Which we will be taking with the username here. Okay, so which we will be taking with the username. and after that it will be taking with the data type, which it will be taking with the text here. Okay, it will be taking with the data type that it will be taking with the text here, right? Now this is it will be taking with the admin, which it will be taking with the admin here. So it will be taking with the text and which it will be taking with the admin here, and then you can click on OK. And after that it will be taking with the data too, which it will be taking with the password. Okay, it will be taking with the password, and which it will be taking with the text, and then it will be taking with the password that it will be taking admin. For password, if required, we are having specific data type is password here. Okay, we are having with the specific data type password is available. If required, you can get selected on it. So in case if I'm getting taken with the data type as a password, by that whenever you are typing with the data, that will not be getting visible here. Okay, so if required, we can take with the data type is password only. So otherwise, generally will be taking with the text also here, which we will be taking with the admin. So we will be taking with the admin here. So one will be taking with the data type and which it will be taking with the password here. Okay, and then we will be clicking on OK. Right. So one it will be taking with the username and one it will be taking with the password, which we got store it here. Okay. So functionality of data item. Functionality of data item is to get store any kind of data. According to the scenario, if you want to be get store any kind of data, which you will be taking with the help of the data item here. Okay, right. So now whatever the test data we can understand, like whatever the data we are having it, we required it, that data we got stored into the data item. Now let's get continue with the flow here. So if you want to be continue with the flow, we need to be get interact with the application. The very first thing is we need to be get open application, and we need to be type username, we need to be type password. So we are getting interacting with the application, right? So to get interactive with the application, okay. So to get interactive with the application, we need to be take with the help of the application modeler. We already mentioning it. Whenever you are working with the Blue Prism tool, if I'm taking with the Blue Prism tool, it will not be directly interacting with the application. In between, it will be taking with the help of the application modeler here, right? So in between, it will be taking with the help of the application modeler. By this, our Blue Prism tool will be interacting with application modeler, and application modeler will be interacting with the Blue Prism tool will be interacting with application modeler, and application modeler will be interacting with the application here. Now, first we will be clicking on this application modeler, which it will be asking with the application name. It will be getting providing with the application name here, and then you will be clicking on the next button. Once you click on the next button, it is asking what kind of application you are getting automated. Either we are taking Windows based application or web based applications, or what kind of application. For now we are taking with the browser based application, which it will be taking with the browser based application here, right? Okay, and then click on the next button, and then browser is already open, need to be get open from executable file, which it will be mentioning that need to be get open from executable file. Okay, and then you will be clicking on the next button. Okay, and which it will be taking with the next. And now we need to be provide application URL, which it will be providing application URL. Again you will be clicking on the next button, again you will be clicking on the next, and which it will be clicking on the finish here. Okay, so once you have been click on the finish, which it will be getting opening your application modular. So for our confirmation, we need to be click on the launch button, right? Once we have been click on the launch button, it's need to be get open that respective application modular, right? It's need to be get open that respective application modular, and then it's need to be get open that respective application. Now we can see, once I click on the launch button, getting opening that respective browser and with the respective of application. Okay, so by this we can confirm that whatever the setup we have been done is the correct one, right? So we will be understanding that whatever the setup we have been done is the correct one, which it will be, okay, which you will be taking with the application modular. Now you will be getting started identifying with the elements here, right? Now to get identified elements, you will be clicking on the identify button. Once you click on the identify button, you are able to see with the green color in the top mentioning that HTML mode. Okay, so while working with the blue prism, to get identifying elements, okay, to get identify with the elements which we are having with the different type of spy modes are available. Okay, we are having different type of spy modes are available. In that, one will be taking with the HTML mode, another one is Win32 mode, another one is accessibility mode, and the next will be taking region mode. Okay, so one is HTML mode, and one is Win32 mode, and one is accessibility mode, and one will be taking region mode, and which it will be taking HTML mode here. Okay, so for now we can get understand that whenever we are working with the web applications, okay, so whenever we are working with the web applications, we need to be take with the help of the HTML mode here. Okay, so what is the purpose of each and every particular spy mode? We'll be understanding on it. So for now we can get understand that purpose of HTML mode is to get work with the web-based application. So whenever you want to be work with the web-based applications, which you will be taking with the help of the HTML mode here. Okay, right. Now we can see here. First, you will be taking with the HTML mode, you will be taking with the spy of that particular button. We require a username text box, which it will be taking with the spy of that. Then you will be taking with the control left click here. By that, it will be getting identifying all the required details here. Automatically, application modular will be taking care of it. What are the options need to be used? Once I click on highlight, it will be getting highlighting that particular element here. Now, for easy understanding, which it will be mentioning the login name. It will be taking with the login name here. Okay, now let me try once again for the confirmation. Once I click on highlight, it is getting highlighting it, right? So before getting developing any of the flow, okay, so before getting developing any of the flow, first it's mandatory that we need to be get identify all the respective objects here. Okay, so till now everyone is clear? Any clarifications till the time what we have been discussed?
I actually have a doubt. Like, how did you get into application modular wizard?
Yeah. Now we can see here, we are getting creating the object studio, right? So once we have been create the object studio, so here by default it will be having the option of application modular.
Okay.
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 Whenever we are created object studio, by default it will be having the option of application modular. Just you can click on it, it will get open it here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So any other clarifications from any other persons? Okay. Right. So now when we are taking with the login name, now we need to be continue it, right? Related to our scenario, whatever the elements we have been required, we need to be get identify all the elements here. Now let's get identify all elements here. Now it will be taken with the one more step, taking with the add element. Okay, so which it will be mentioning with the add element here. Okay, now password, right, which it will be taking with the password. Again you can click on identify, which it will be taking with the password. You will be using control left click. It will be taking with the password. It will be getting highlighted. Click on this highlight, getting highlighting it. Okay, right. And after that, it will be taking with the login button, which it will be taking with the login button here. Okay, it will be taking with the login button. Click on identify, which it will be taking with the login button here. Take with the highlight, getting highlighted. Until unless it is getting highlighting it, we don't have any kind of issues here. Okay, so until unless it is getting highlighting, we don't have any issues here. In case if it is not highlighting, if it is giving an error, then we need to be cross check that what exactly that issue is here. Okay, fine. Now we will be clicking on apply. Let's take with the one more option, that is we done with the login act. That means related to the login activities, we have been spied that respective elements. Now once we done with the login activity, we need to be get click on this logout here, right? So to perform the logout, which we need to be get identify that particular element. Okay, to perform the logout, we need to be get identify that particular element. Now let's get identifying it here. Okay, now we can see here, which will be taken with the add element. It will be taken with the add element, and then it will be taken with the logout, which will be taken with the logout. Click on identify. It will be taken with the logout here. Okay, then it will be taking control left click. Okay, which it will be taking with the control left click, then it will be taking with the highlight, getting highlighted. Apply. Fine. Now related to our scenario, whatever the elements we have been required. Okay, so related to our scenario, whatever the elements we have been required, which we have been taken that particular elements, then it will be getting clicking on the OK here. Right, fine. Now we can see here. Now let's take our designing it. So first you are taking with the start stage, starting with the execution, then you will be taking with the end stage, which it will be taking with the ending with the execution here. Right? Okay. Now first we need to be get open application, right? So to get open application, what you will be using, it will be taking with the help of the navigate stage, right? So to get open with the application, it will be taking with the help of the navigate stage, which you will be taking with the navigate, and it will be providing it. Perform double click on it, which it will be mentioning that it will be taking with the open application. Then it will be taking with the main root node. Then it will be using with the option is launch. So whenever you want to be get open with the application, it will be taking with the help of the launch activity here. Right? Okay. Click on OK. And after that, we need to be get type with the username. Right. So we need to be get type with the username. For typing with the username, which it will be taking with the right stage, which it will be taking with right stage. Perform double click on it. It will be mentioning there, which it will be taking type underscore username. Okay. So which it will be mentioning that it will be taking with the type underscore username. Okay, right. Now here the same thing, which it will be taking with the admin. Now previously directly we mentioning with the admin, but now what we done, these details we have been get stored into the data item. Now we can see here. You are able to see that respect to data items here. So we'll be taking these data items here. So which it will be taking with the drag and drop of this data item. Then it will be mentioning that where it has to be stored, which it will be taking with the drag and drop of this data item. Okay, which it will be taking with the drag and drop of this data item. So you are clearly mentioning it, what it has to be typed it, and which it will be mentioning it, where it has to be get typed it. Okay, right. Now you can get click on OK. And after that, which it will be typing with the password. It will be taking with the one more write stage here. Okay, so which it will be taking with the one more write stage. Perform double click on it, which it will be taking with the type underscore. It will be taking with the password. Okay, which will be mentioning the type underscore password, and over here again it will be taking with the respective data item. It will be taking with the password, right? So which it will be taking with the password details here, taking with the password, mentioning that respective password. Okay, and after that you are getting typing with the username and typing with the password. We need to be take with the click activity, right? We need to be get perform the click activity here. So to perform the click activity also, it will be taking with the help of the navigate stage. So to get perform the click activity, we need to be take with the help of the navigate stage. It will be taking with the help of the navigate stage. So we'll be performing with the double click on it, which you will be mentioning the click underscore. It will be taking with the login. Okay, so we'll be mentioning the click underscore login, which you will be taking with the login button. So we'll be taking with the login button here. Then you will be taking with the click center, right? And then click on OK. Once you have been click on the login button, next you have to be click on the logout. So to perform the click activity, which we need to be take with the navigate stage only, it will be taking with the one more navigate stage that it will be mentioning the click underscore logout. Okay, so we'll be taking with the help of the one more stage that it will be taking with the logout here. Now it will be taking with the logout, which it will be taking with the logout here, and then it will be taking with the option is click here. Okay, and once you click on the logout, at last we need to be close in a browser, right? So to close in a browser also, it will be taking with the help of the navigate stage. Perform double click on it. It will be taking with the help of the close application, mentioning that close application. So we'll be taking with the main root node, which we will be taking with the main root node, that we will be taking with the terminate here, and then click on OK. And at last we need to be take with the end activity, which it will be taking with the end activity. Right, now we can see here, getting starting with the execution, opening with the application, typing username from the data item, typing password from the data item, taking with the login activity, which it will be taking with the logout, and then it will be taking close application, and which it will be taking with the end activity here. Right, now let's take with the connectivity that it will be taking with the link stage. So which it will be taking with the link stage. Open application, which it will be getting typing username, typing password, and taking with the login activity, which it will be taking with the logout, and a close application, which it will be taking close application, and then end activity. Okay, right. Now we are taking with the reset. Once we have been done with the reset, we can take with the run mode, which it will be taking with the slow part, which it will be taking with the slow mode. Then it will be getting closing with the IE browser. Okay, so we are getting closing with the IE browser, and which it will be taking with the reset, and then get run it. Now we can see here, it's need to be get open with the application and getting typing with the username, and which it will be typing that respective password. It will be taking with the login activity, which it is taken with the logout, and close the application. Right, now if you look into the advantage of the data item, now in case of data is changing, it not required to get updated any of the flow, right? just it will be taken with the help of the respective data item. So here you are getting storing the data, right? In case in your application, if you're having any other credentials, I mean other user, then it will be providing the details, which it will be taken with the Suresh, and which it will be providing with the password here. Okay, so we'll be taking with the password also, which you will be providing that particular password details here. Okay, right. Now we can see here. I will be taking with the reset, and which it will be taking with the run activity. So this time in a place of admin, which it will be taking with the username will be the Suresh, and which it is taking password is Suresh123. Missing data. This is password, right? Okay. Now let's get run it. Opening application, type username, type password, taking with the login activity. Now we can see here, getting typing with the username and password, which it will be taking login activity, log out, close the application. So this is how we need to begin automate any kind of the scenarios here. So according to the requirement, we need to begin understand about with the steps here. So that is what nothing but will be taken with the ODA document. So based on that particular document, we need to begin understand how exactly we can get automated with the any respective scenarios with the help of the Blue Prism here. Okay, so clear up to this. Any clarifications from here?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So here the main object or tool is we are generally making with the two main things here. One, you will be referring with the ODA objects. Based on this ODA document, we need to be develop an object. How you are developing with the object is first you are understanding with the required steps need to be performed here. To perform these particular step, you are understanding that what are the data items need to be used. That means the very first activity is you need to be get understand that what are all the stages need to be used to perform the respective action. By that, whenever you are designing within the flow, it will become in a very comfortable to get to develop in a particular object or to get develop in a particular process here. Okay, right. And similar to that, you guys can get started working with the installation. So related to the installation files, you can get touch with your respective spokes. Those guys will be providing all the installation files here. So related to the installation, I have been given one installation document also. You will be getting this particular document also. In this particular documentation, everything it has been provided here. Majorly, you require with the three things here. One is minimum requirement is your OS should be Windows 7. Okay, minimum should be Windows 7. From Windows 7, it may be anything. XP will not be getting supported. Minimum it will be taken with the Windows 7 here. Okay, so how you need to be take with the installation is the very first installation is SQL Express Edition, nothing but database. Okay, I have been given a .exe file. I have been given one .exe file. Just you can double click on it, then automatically it will be taking installation here. Once your SQL installation has been completed, after that you will be installing the Blue Prism, and after that you will be installing the Blue Prism license. Clearly have been documented each and everything. Just you can go through this particular document, you can easily get installed it. First you can take with the double click on it, it will get open. Once it got open, then it will be asking for accepting the license. You can get accept with the license, selecting all the options, here, and then providing with the username. I mean this named instance and then instance ID. These things also need to be take capital letters, small letters, everything should be the same here. Okay. And after that, next you need to be take with the option is automatic and disable. One it will be taking automatic and one it will be taking disable. Okay, so and after that you will be clicking on the next button, then it will be getting started executing it here. Okay, so by this, which it will be completing all the status here. I mean, which it is clearly mentioning that it is getting completing with the installation of the SQL Server. Okay. Not like exactly SQL Server, which it will be taking that SQL Express edition here. The very first activities, first we have to be make sure that this DB got installed. Okay, so once this DB part completed, I mean once this SQL Server Expression Edition has been completed, then what you have to do is in your system you need to be changed with the system date to the May 1st here. Okay, change with the system date is May 1st, and after that get started installing with the Blue Prism. To get install the Blue Prism, you will be having .exe file. Just double click on the .exe file, then automatically everything will get installed. Once all the installation has been completed, you can look into the desktop icon. I mean, you will be able to see one Blue Prism icon on desktop here. Then you will be taking with the double click on it. Okay. Once you're done with the double click on it, for the first time it will be giving an error window. You will be clicking on the OK button. And after that, you need to be click on this configure. We need to be configure the database. Once you click on that configure also, it will be giving an error. Okay, so once you click on the configure, it will be asking all the configure details. Provide all the details, everything is the same here. Connection name, database name, we can provide anything, but this connection type and data type server is as it is, we need to be take with the same thing here. Then you will be clicking on the test connection, it will be giving with the again error window. Okay, but you will be clicking on the OK button, again you will be clicking on the OK button. Okay, so once you click on the OK button, it will give error window only, but again you will be clicking on the OK button of the error window, then you will be navigating the option of the file here. Okay, it will be taking with the option of the file, selecting the option is create new database will get created. Okay, so once this new database got created, and after that you will be getting able to see database created. Now it will be mentioning the database valid here. Okay, so once database get validated, then you can type it, the username is admin, password is admin. So for the first time, you need to be take with the username is admin, and password also you need to be take with the admin. Then it will be asking for reset with the password. For the first time, once you log in it, it will be taking admin, then immediately it will be asking for the password reset. You can have your own password, anything here. By that, once password reset has been completed, then you will be able to take the login activity. Okay, but again, once you're done with the login activity, all the tabs are in disable. Okay, it will not be getting enabled all the tabs here. If you look into this, only 2 tabs got enabled, remaining all the things are disabled here. We need to be make it as enable. To make it enable, you need to be get installed with the license file. You will be getting with the license file also, just you can upload that license file here. Okay, so you need to be get upload that particular license file. You will be able to see with the, now we can see here. So once you have been installing it in the license, you will be clicking on the system tab and then license, and here you will be getting with the license file here. Having with the license file here, once you got installed with the license file, which everything you will be having with the enable activities. Whatever the tabs are there, all the tabs are will be getting enabled here. Okay, so this is what which it will be mentioning with the working with the Blue Prism activities installation here. First, you need to be installed with the SQL Server Express Edition, and after that, you will be installing with the Blue Prism.exe file, and then you will be taking with the installing with the license file here. By this, which it will be completing with the Blue Prism installation, and going forward, whenever you are getting opening with the blue prism, okay, it will be asking for the username password, right? Before typing with the username and password, change the system date to May 1st 2018, I mean 2017 here. Okay, and then you can take with the login activity, it will be completing login. Once login has been completed, if required, you can change with the system date to the current date, doesn't make any problem. But always remember that whenever you are taking with the blue prism installation, or whenever you are taking with the login activity, it's mandatory that you need to be get change with the system date here. Okay, so clear about on it. So these are all the three softwares you will be getting it: SQL Express Edition, Blue Prism, and then license. First you will be installing SQL Express Edition, next you will be installing the Blue Prism, next you will be installing with the license file, and you will be having with the installation guide also. Okay, so clear up to this, any clarifications from here?
Can I get the installation guide and the links for installation?
No, can you repeat again?
Can I get the PDF file and also the links to install in my laptop?
Yes, yes, you will be getting all the things. Okay, you can ask your respective spoke. Okay, they'll be giving all the details. Everything you will be getting accessing it.
Okay.
Okay. So, any other clarifications from any other persons? All right. So if you don't have any questions, we can get exit from the meeting. So from tomorrow, please be available sharp by 6 o'clock. By that, we can start exactly sharp at 6 o'clock, and then we'll be closing sharp by 7. Because 7, I'll be having with another meeting will be there. So I need to be closed sharp by 7 o'clock. So because of that, please be available sharp by 6 o'clock. We'll be getting starting the session. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay then. So if we don't have any questions, we can get exit from the meeting. Thank you. Thanks everyone.